Hello guys, welcome to Java Developers YouTube channel. In previous class, we had been seeing about instance variables, like type of variables in Java, and there are three types of variables in Java basically. They are instance variables, static variables, and local variables, and we had seen deep about these type of variables in Java. Today, our topic is about methods and blocks in Java. Okay, there are two types of methods are there, like instance methods and static methods, whereas local methods are not possible. Okay, and type of blocks or instance block and static blocks, we will see the examples of those. Already we know the definition of instance variable, just like same, it's an instance method, the method which is declared uh outside of a method without any static keyword. Outside of a main method, but within the class without any static keyword is called instance method, and that can be accessed by using the object and object reference. Whereas static method, the method which is declared outside the main method within the class, but with using the static keyword, then those methods are called as static methods. Static methods can be accessed in the four types, right? Four ways, like creating the object reference, by creating the object, by using the class name, by normal. Okay, local methods are not possible in Java. And type of blocks, okay, instance blocks and static blocks. Instance blocks will execute when we create an object for that, and static blocks will execute when during the class loading time. Okay, we'll do that practically. Let's take the package and right click on it, new class methods example. Okay, just add the main method to it and just click on finish. Okay, and let's take public void m1. Okay, it's an instance method, and you are going to write some message like this is instance method. Okay, this is instance method. How you can access the instance methods or variables? By creating the object or object reference, right? Then I want to create the object reference. Okay, after creating that, method example dot m1. Okay, I call the m1. If I execute this particular code, you will get this is instance method, right? You got it, like this is instance method. Okay, and now go for the static method. Okay, static method. Okay, public static void m2. Okay, just go for this is static method. Okay, just execute the code, and you are able to see that it's only the instance method because we not yet call the static method. Okay, method example dot m2. Okay, if I call that, you will get the both the examples, like this is instance method and this is static method. These we have called the two methods by using the object reference. Now we are calling by using the object. Okay, by using the object we need to call now. Okay, object reference is completed, we will call by using the object. Okay, how you call that object? New method example dot m1, new method example dot m2. Okay, I have explained this brief in that how to create an object, what is the main differences between the using of object reference and directly creating the object in yesterday's class during the concept of type of variables in Java. If you are not understanding that, what is the use of, in this case, two examples will be performing, you can go for the yesterday's class and just look at that. Okay, I have created the object by, I have calling the methods by creating the object, not using the object reference. So you will get like this is instance method and this is static method completed, right? Okay, as a instant methods can be accessed only two ways, that's completed by using the object or object reference. By now we are going to call the static method by using the class name. Okay, what is our class name? Method example, right? Method example dot m2. Okay, I have calling by using the class name. You will get the output. This is static method. Okay, just see this. This is the first one by using the object reference. This is second part by using the object. This is the third part, that is using the calling the static method using the class name. Okay, you can also call the static method by simple. Okay, like m2. Okay, if I execute that, you are going to get the output. Okay, this is the type of callings of different type of methods in Java. Okay, already we seen same examples in instance variables, so that, but here only the changing of type. I mean, you are using methods here, there we have used the variables. As method syntax will consisting only the three parts, like public is access modifier, void is the return type but does not return anything. I mean, you can use the return type here, and m1 is a method name, and open the parenthesis, open the blocks, I mean curly braces, and you can write the logic, or you can write anything inside a method. As a basically method is a group of statements. My methods are used for reduce the code reusability. Okay, means reducing the code. Okay, yeah, it performs some task based on the requirement. We are going to create a method and that will perform some task. Okay, increase the code reusability. Yeah, that's all about methods, and we go for blocks. Okay, new class, name it as blocks. Okay, add the main method, click on finish. Okay, after clicking the finish, I want to take first s out, that is system.out.println. This is instance block. Okay, this is instance block, and that will execute, instance block will execute when we create an object. Okay, when we created an object, then instance blocks will execute. Then our output is, this is instance block. Okay, you got it right. Okay, and now static block. Static block means static keyword will be used, and you are writing one statement like this is static block. Okay, this is static block. This is static block, and this is instance block. Okay, here we have written a static block in at line number 8, but you have written the instance block at line number 4. But even though it was the first you are getting static block, then you are getting the instance block, because as a static blocks will execute during the class loading time. Okay, so we will get this first, and this instance blocks will be executed when we create an object for the class. Okay, that's the main difference. Okay, we'll look some more examples with us different return types and different params of method types. Okay, methods, examples, method examples. Okay, right, after creating the class of method examples, we need to create some examples, right? Methods with the return types. Okay, our concept is about methods with the return types. First we will see that. Okay, and just take the instance method. Okay, first we will take without return type, that is m1. Okay, and just take the printable statement like this, no return type, that is void. Okay, void is used. Okay, if I run that, you won't get anything because we are not accessing the method one. Methods will execute when we call that particular method. Okay, it but does not execute default. It will be execute when we call that particular method. Okay, how you call that? By using method examples. Method examples equals to new, sorry, how to write this, new method examples. Okay, examples is a one class and example is another class. Okay, that's the difference. And method example dot m1. Okay, now you are calling the method, JVM goes to the line number 6 and it will execute the inner part of the method. I mean first line of the method after inside of the method. Okay, void is used. Okay, now return type using int. Okay, how you write that? Public int m2. Okay, and you can write this is method with int return type. Okay, this is a method with int return type. Why you are getting? Okay, and we need to return some value, right? As you return int, it must be returned, right? Return 100, it's an integer, right? Yeah, but if I call that method, will that execute? If I call m2 method, will that execute? Just see that basically they won't execute. Okay, only you are getting the print statement, but you are not getting the returned value. Okay, this is a method with the int return type. Okay, you are getting like only the message, you are not returning anything. Okay, if you want to return, if you want to get the return value, okay, we should not just call it, we need to store that because it was returning some value. We need to store that, or we need to catch that result, right? With the same data type, return type is int, so I was taking the int and I was taking the int result as a variable. Okay, then I was printing the output like int result. Okay, let's say another example, you will get an idea, no issue with that. Right, now you get the return type value, right? Just take, now return type is string. Okay, return type is string. Okay, just take public string. Okay, m3, just take the printable statement. This is string return type method, string return type method. Okay, and after that you can return the value like this is non-primitive return type. Okay, this is non-primitive return type. Okay, after completing that, this is a method 1 without return type, method 2 with the integer return type. Now you are calling the method 3, right? Method examples as a reference. Method example dot m3, what is the value you are going to get? Now you are going to get only this is a string return type method. You won't get the return type value, right? You are getting this is the string return type, but if you want get that too, let's take the return type is string type. Yes, result str result, that means string result. I was taking the variable as str result, then I was printing the str result. Okay, it's a good example. And if you want to perform any, yeah, this is the non-primitive return type. Okay, and these are the some of the examples. If you change any data types here, and that can be returned. Okay, same syntax, but return should be that what data type you are returning, you must enter that value in return type. I was entered here 100 because I was returning the int. Here string, I was returning the string. Okay, next I want to catch that return type, you have to take the int type because I was returning int type, so that I want to store that int type. Next I was returning string type, I need to store that string type 1 variable. Okay, that's all about these return types. Okay, let's take params. Okay, let's take params. I mean, we are passing some parameters. These are with 0 parameters, right? M3 does not have any parameter, M2 does not have any parameter, M1 does not have any parameters. Like we are going for params. Params method, okay? Methods with params, okay? Nothing will be same. Okay, just take public static m4 and I want to pass int a, int value, and just s out of, okay, this is int, this method consists of into param. Okay, this is something like that. What is happened? Set the method return type to void. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and you can call that method. Okay, how you are calling that method? As a reference, method example dot m4. M4 we need to pass some value because we have given some parameter, right? Int a. If I pass 100, what you will going to get? Let's see. You are going to get this method consists of int a parameter, right? If I take one more example like public void m5, okay, with a string param, okay, string, yes, and let's take s out string return type, sorry, string parameter, okay, and you can call them method number 5, method example dot m5, but it need some type of parameter as you given. You need to pass some argument, right? So I was passing the argument as Java. Okay, it was matching with the string data type, so it will give the value like string parameter. It was printing because it satisfies the method condition that it will print the integer, I mean string data. Okay, next we will go for parameters with return types. Okay, params with return type. Okay, and let's take public void, I mean int m6. It was returning int a, okay, int a, and I want to print like params with return type, okay, and then I have to return the value because you given the return type as int return 100. Okay, if I call method 6, okay, if I call method 6, it won't accept because we need to pass some argument because you have given the parameter, you have passed the parameter, you must be called that, so you have to enter the value for that to satisfy of it. If we execute that, you are only getting params with return type. Okay, you are only going to get params with the return type. If I want to get return type value, then what is our step? Let's take int result is equals to s out of result. Right now you are going to get the both the values, like params with the return type 100, params with inter return type, yes. Okay, this is the example with the return type as well as it's consisting some parameter. Okay, next one more example with the string. Okay, public string m7 of string, okay, yes, okay, let's take s out params with string return type. Okay, params with string return type. How you are going to call? Because you are getting an error because you are not returning anything. So return string is predefined class. Okay, I was writing one message, but as a string it starts with the capital letter. Okay, it's a predefined class. Okay, then if I call, let's comment these two. Okay, if I call method 7 dot m7 and it was asking something like you need to pass some string data. Let's I was passing Java. Okay, then end with the semicolon and execute that. You are getting like params with string return type, but you are not getting returned value. Like string is a predefined class. If I want to get that, you need to store or cache that as a str result of 7. Okay, then a sort of str result of 7. Okay, because str result already we have used, so I was using the 7 that matches with the method number, right? So you are getting like params with the string return type, and string is the predefined class. Okay, these are the some types of examples we are going to perform with the methods. It's enough, and it's a great learning with the methods. Okay, okay, we will call the methods. Now next topic about the methods is that we are calling the type of methods. Okay, method calling, just keep head class as methods. Okay, just include the main method. Next, just take public void m1. Okay, without any return type I was taken, and I was simply writing void type. Okay, then I was taking public int of m2, and okay, no issue, and I was taking a sort of int type, I mean int return type. Okay, just like int return type, and you can also use void return type. And here you are given int return type, so you need to pass return 100 or 1000. Okay, anything, the value should be within the integer range. And public, it's a string, right? And you can give the m3 here, and you are writing like print statement string return type. Okay, then you are going for return the string value, as the string is non-primitive data type. Okay, as a string is a non-primitive data type. Okay, but if I want to include the m2 in m3, if you are writing m3 here, okay, if you are calling m3 with the what is the return type, it's like 1000, right? So what it was saying here, just look at this message. The method type method is not applicable for the argument of int, because when the JVM will be called, okay, just see the example. And I was taking methods equals to new methods, sorry, new methods. What is the class name? Methods, right? So, methods equals to new. Okay, due to this error it was not getting predefined, like, oh, right, yeah. Okay, if I call methods dot m3, which is a string return type, right? Method 3, if I pass here, I mean JVM goes to the, after creation or you are calling specific method, JVM goes to for this method, and it will see that there is one print statement, it will execute and return type, then it's come out of that, because its work is completed up to the return type. So if you are writing this, if you are calling method 2 with this data type, I mean after the return type, it won't be accepted. Okay, just write before the return type. Okay, just call the int, I mean just take m2. Okay, m2 method, you can call m1 method, just guess the output, guys. Okay, guess the output. As m3 is called, JVM go for the m3 method, and it will print like string return type, and it will go for the m2, then it will reach the line number 2, and you have given return type int return type, then you are calling m1, so it will void return type, and after that it will print string is a non-primitive data, string int void, then string is a non-primitive is the output, right? String int void Okay, why you are not printing? That means you are not catching the return type of a string. So if I catch string result is, and if I call that, you are going to get the string data, right? Yes. Okay, string is a non-primitive data type. You are getting with the three examples, right? This is a method calling. I mean, you are calling one method and then you are calling another method inside the particular method. Okay, right. This is the example for the methods calling, and everything is finished. I mean, we have studied a lot about the methods, and we have the three types of methods in Java, like instance methods, static methods, and there is no local methods are possible. If you're writing that local methods, you are going to get the errors. Okay, they are not possible. Okay, only variables will be there. Just see this example. Okay, public void em2, and if I route, this is local method. Okay, you are getting errors, right? What it was saying, insert something like, and it was saying invalid return type, syntax error, voice record is expected, right? The local methods are not possible. Okay, that's only the criteria. It's not possible, it's not there too. Yeah, and we have discussed about that different type of methods like instant and static methods. Okay, later after completion of this, we have discussed how to access that, and later we have discussed about the return types like void, int. Okay, if you are giving the any return type data, we must be catched. Okay, after catching only the return value will going to get in your console. This is a console part. Okay, we have done with the string example. Next, params. Okay, if you are passing the params only, the method get validated and it will print inside that. Same with the params with the return types. We need to pass the params. Along with that, you need to catch the return type. Then you are going to get the output. Okay. The last one, after that, we look towards the blocks, right? Okay. The next one is about blocks. Blocks. We have two types of blocks. This is instance block, this static block. Instance block will execute when we created an object, and static blocks will be executed during the class loading time at the first step. Okay, by default happening thing is that class loading. Okay, next we have seen about method examples is completed, and methods. Okay, calling the one method inside another method. I have created void method, int method. I was calling the void method in m2, and I was calling the m2 in m3 method, and I was created the object for the m3, and I mean sorry, for the class, and I have access to the method of m3 and stored that with the value, and then I was printing that. Okay, they're methods callings. Yeah, these are all about the methods. If you have any doubt, just comment me below. Okay, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.